Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brooke and Steffy clash, and hope rolls as Thomas delivers unimaginable news. Wednesday, March 27, 2024. Moment on the Bold and the Beautiful. Ridge tries to intervene between Brooke and Steffy, and Thomas tells Hope he is leaving. All products and services featured are singly chosen by editors. Still, soaps.com may admit a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may admit certain auditable data for counting purposes. In Forrester's design office, Hope reminds Thomas they crushed a lot to be together. "It's been worth it, right?" she asks. Thomas replies, "I allowed." "So?" Hope gashes up at his use of the once tense. He points out she wouldn't marry him. Hope blasts, "Because I need further time." "Do I really have to explain this, Thomas?" She wanted a moment to breathe. Later Liam, to discover who she is, and allowed. He understood. "Thomas, please. Don't let Steffy get in your head. Don't let her destroy what we partake. I can't lose you." In the main office, Steffy tells Brooke and Ridge that Hope's had her way with Thomas for too long and she's about to get a rude awakening. Brooke tailbacks. "That's my son you talking about." Steffy replies, "Oh, I know. She's getting more like you every day." Ridge intervenes as Brooke says, "Obviously, you suppose that's a bad thing." Steffy alludes to Brooke running around targeting her family back in the day. Hope can't indeed pretend she loves Thomas. Brooke argues that's not true. Ridge wants everyone to take a breath, but Steffy declares she wouldn't stand by and let Hope hurt her family. Brooke Ridge Steffy B&B. Brooke says she's trying hard not to be offended, but she can't take the Hope bashing. Steffy blithely replies that it's not bashing if it's true. She recaps that Hope has been using him and turning down his proffers. "That's completely inferior, and it needs to end. I suppose it's passing right now." In the design office, Hope tells Thomas that Steffy's hypotheticals aren't true. Just because she can't accept his offer, that doesn't mean she doesn't want to be with him. "I love what we've together." Thomas questions what, exactly, they do have together. Is there commitment? Are they just going steady? Or is this her taking out some vengeance against her mama, or her partner, or his family, whatever? Hope gasps, "What?" Thomas prodigies if perhaps it's just her taking a walk on the wild side with a bad boy. Hope denies that's true. Thomas isn't sure what to suppose, which is why he's asking. "How long will he have to stay? Will you ever love me the way that I love you?" he asks. Hope Thomas B&B. In the main office, Brooke wonders why Hope and Thomas have to get wedded. Why can't they just be together? Steffy says Thomas is getting jerked around by Hope and deserves better. Ridge agrees, but he wants Thomas to do whatever makes him feel more. Steffy wouldn't apologize for standing up for her family. Ridge insists his son is just guarding Thomas and not going after Hope. Steffy interjects, "Oh, yes I am. I want Hope out of Thomas's life for good. I am done with her leading him on, toying with his feelings. She's not going to break his heart presently. The only person that's going to have a broken heart is Hope, not Thomas." In the design office, Thomas tells Hope he's been asking himself if she'll ever be suitable to love him with no reservations and no conditions. Hope asks him not to misdoubt her passions for him. "Please don't start that now. I love the man that you've become." She caresses his shoulders and lists off his attributes. She's no way endured this with anyone differently ahead. Being with him is exhilarating and she doesn't want it to change. Thomas tells her that affects change, they progress. Hope doesn't suppose there's a timeline they've to follow. Thomas prodigies if this should just be some breezy thing. Hope tells him there's no bone. Differently for her. She's sorry she dissatisfied him, but she's not ready to be married again. He asks, "When will you be ready? Will it be months, times, or will she ever really be ready?" Perhaps she can't answer if she'll ever be ready, that's why he's leaving. This hurts, too important. I can't do it presently. I love you too much to put myself through that. In the main office, Brooke asks if Steffy seriously just said she doesn't care if Hope gets hurt. Steffy recaps that Thomas is vulnerable to Hope, so moreover she's all in, or she's out. But she doesn't really watch, because she's a Logan. All you guys watch about is your requirements and your wants. Brooke prompts Ridge to intermediate. Ridge tells Steffy that attacking Hope and Brooke isn't helping. Steffy references Brooke's history and says now Hope is doing the exact same thing to Thomas. It's inferior and it needs to end. In the design office, Hope says it would have been wrong to accept his offer when she wasn't ready. Thomas questions her wearing the ring around her neck. He saw that as stopgap for their future. He anticipated her to take it off at some point and wear it on her cutlet. Hope says he's starting to sound like Steffy. Thomas says perhaps she's right. Hope says she loves him. Thomas nods. But not enough to marry him. At some point he has to take care of himself. Hope complains about Steffy's falsehoods and insists she's just allowing of the kiddies and trying not to make the same miscalculations. Thomas shakes his head. He'd have loved her for the rest of his life and given her everything, but it's too painful. The reverse and forth is too painful. I still love you. I love you so much, but I can't do it presently, and that's why I am leaving moment. Hope cries. In the main office, Brooke informs Steffy that her whole take on Hope and Thomas is wrong. Her disinclination to marry Thomas isn't because she doesn't love him. She reminds Steffy of all the effects Thomas did in the history. Ridge says he's not that man presently. Brooke tells Steffy that Hope is kind and doesn't toy with people's feelings. Steffy informs Brooke that she thinks Hope is too good for Thomas, but it's the other way around. She hopes she got through to her family, and he'll end it with her moment. Ridge Steffy B&B in the design office, Hope asks, leaving? Moment? Thomas can't. What about Douglas? We a family. Thomas sighs. Douglas wants his parents to be married and that's not going to be. He has to find some way to break his fall. Hope asks, what about Hope for the future? Thomas tells her he can't work with her presently. Hope gawps, what? Thomas repeats that he's leaving. I suppose I am going to Paris. Hope rolls. Okay, well if you need to take some time, take a break, you can go to Paris, work at International, you can telegraph me your sketches. Thomas can't work with her presently, it hurts too important. Perhaps there's someone out there that will love him as much as he loves them. Hope says this isn't him talking. You just proposed to me. Thomas reminds her she turned him down, doubly. Hope needs further time. Thomas says she's out of time. Hope complains that Steffy is before all of this. Thomas has to have toned respect and not be lowered all the time. He doesn't suppose Hope is doing it on purpose, it just happens. Perhaps we just have too important to overcome. Either way, I've to go, Hope, and I want Douglas with me. Hope cries, Douglas? No. Thomas you can't do that, I love you. You can't just leave like this. Thomas says the most painful part of this whole thing has been, I love you, and I knew that you loved me, the whole time, but you wouldn't say it. And the first time that you actually told me that you loved me, was when you were rejecting me. Goodbye. Hope grabs his hand and pleads with him not to do this to them. Thomas says he loves her and will always love her. With that, he snappily exits. Hope cries, Thomas, and also heartbreaks, clinging her neck feeling for the ring that's no longer there.